Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another quick chat. Today on the quick chat, I want to talk to you guys about Jonathan Majors and whatever the hell he has going on over there. It's been so many different layers to the story of what really happened in and outside that taxi, but we're going to get into it. Like, TMZ has 3 different articles, and at one point I felt like they were conflicting, but I'm just going to check that out in a second. We're likely going to read through the articles and discuss all of that. But right now, y'all, this is what I want to talk about before we get into Jonathan Majors. Like, please, can we just at least get into this? Let me see this. Let's get into this man right here. All right. And you guys can't see his face. So, yes, let me blow it up on the screen for y'all to be able to see. Okay. This is his face. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. I have not gotten a mug shot just yet. I would love to play the news clip for you guys, but at this time, YouTube is a little shaky. Okay. When it comes to that. So for now, I'm just going to tell you guys what the article is saying, and it's coming from Inside Edition. All right. Now, my first time seeing this situation or learning about this story was on Hollywood Unlocked. And this is a story about a Louisiana water treatment worker who was arrested for urinating, okay, and drinking water supply. Do you hear what I say? Okay, and he's done this twice, according to Inside Edition. Now, let's get into the details, and I'm going to leave this photo up for a second because this photo is a clip from the video. This is a snapshot from the video of him actually urinating in that water supply, and he was caught on more than one occasion. Okay, so they're saying city officials said they do not know if 57-year-old Michael Maston had urinated in the water supply other times in the past because the security archive only saves footage from the last 30 days. Okay, so this is what they're saying. All right, now that y'all got a good glimpse, I'm sure y'all are also going to want to see me on camera. So let's go ahead and just swap these out. Okay, so they go on to say a Louisiana government employee was arrested and fired after he was allegedly caught on camera urinating in the city's water supply in at least 2 separate occasions in the last 30 days, authorities said. Now, Michael Maston, at his big, grown, nasty age of 57 of Baton Rouge, was arrested and charged earlier this week on 2 counts of criminal damage to a critical infrastructure and 2 counts of contaminating water supplies, according to jail records. Okay, and I want him to be in there for a little minute. For the rest of the year, he can stay in there, okay? Since you like to urinate in water supply, urinate in that toilet that you got in there. And when they don't bring you no more water, then you could drink up that, okay? Now, Maston is awaiting arraignment and is currently out on $25,000 bond. I feel like that's a problem. And I wonder what area of Baton Rouge was the water supply for? Was it to fund, was it to feed or supply the entire Baton Rouge, or what was it? Because y'all know the little young kids down in the hood and stuff, they be quick to hook that hose up or whatever to a system. They be quick to hook that hose up and, drink that water. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will use the water from the sink. That I don't like. Listen, I don't cook with that water. That's why I buy a lot of water, like a lot of cases of water, because I like to cook with regular water. I do not like to drink that water, none of that. And I'll be honest, I do have like a little filter thing, but I just honestly, I don't even want to drink it. You know what I'm saying? Drink from the filter, to be honest. Like, girl, just give me the bottle. And I mean, some people like to say that the bottled water is more dangerous, girl, whatever. It's giving more safer for me. Okay? Okay, put my shit in a bottle and seal it the hell up and ship it out to the stores and let me go get it. Huh? Okay, because this right here is crazy. Just letting you know. All right, now let's see what else they're saying. They're saying that Maston formerly worked at a water supply treatment plant in Donaldsonville and has been a long-tenured employee at the facility, officials said in a statement. So now it makes me wonder how long he been over here doing this bullshit, okay? Now, Maston was allegedly seen in security footage leaving his office, turning the angle of the security camera, then urinating into the water supply, officials said in a statement shared with media alongside security footage. He's just a nasty son of a gun. But let's go ahead and keep going. All right. They're saying despite having changed the angle of the security camera, not you out here changing the angle of the security camera. BITCH. So did you change it to face you or did you change it away from you? But it sounds like you may have changed it away from you, but it still caught your nasty ass. It ain't no telling how long you've been doing it with your raggedy ass. Despite having changed the angle of the security camera, Madston could allegedly be seen in full view of the camera and at one occasion looking directly at the camera, as you guys have seen on the screen. Okay, they're saying I am, or at least it looks like the Ascension Parish president says, I am extremely disappointed and I find this conduct disgusting and unacceptable. This type of behavior will never be tolerated in parish government, okay? Those officials says reportedly they learned of Madston's actions shortly after March 22nd. An investigation was opened that same morning, and by afternoon, Madston was terminated from his position. That's what your nasty old raggedy get, okay? Madston was taken into custody just hours after he was fired. Madston did not give authorities a reason for his actions upon arrest. The Advocate reported. They said, but further investigation showed that he allegedly urinated in the water supply at least one other time in the last 30 days. It is unclear if he has done it more than twice, since the plant security archive only goes back 30 days. This is something he's done on a regular. This ain't new to him. This is true to him. This is true to who the hell he is, okay? Federal authorities have been notified and will continue the investigation into Madston's actions. Now, local authorities, however, are assuring the public there is no threat to the water supply, as samples taken after the incident show the water quality is in good standing and meets all safe water drinking requirements. I don't believe you. You need more people, okay? Because I feel like y'all probably only went to the white side of the neighborhoods and ran your test. I feel like you only went to a few houses, ran a damn test, but you ain't run a test for all of the area. For real, okay? Y'all just got enough to go out there and actually make people think that it's okay. Y'all better not put that y'all mouth on that water. Y'all better not put y'all mouth on that mother water. Do you hear what I say? Oh, nasty ass. And then y'all, whoever the judge is, has the audacity to get this man only $25,000 a bond. So he about only paid $2,500 just to get his raggedy ass out. No, you should have added another zero, 250 racks. What's going on with you? Make it a little harder for his raggedy ass. And he done sat up there and lost his job. And I hope it constantly shows up in his damn background check. Period. The way he was showing his ass up over there in the camera, pissing in people's stuff. Oh, nasty, raggedy hoe. Girl, I had to read him down. I had to read him down because he's a raggedy hoe. Period. Nasty, helpful. But let's go ahead and keep going. I want to talk about Jonathan Majors real quick, all right? I want to talk about Jonathan. Y'all go ahead and leave y'all comments about the previous story that we just discussed. But I want to talk about Jonathan Majors because, girl, I'm confusion. Girl, I'm confusion, and I'm also hearing that it's not looking good for your boy, okay? Now, I have 3 different articles up here from TMZ, and I don't know if I'm going to get into all of them. I think I'm going to get into the more recent one. But let me read the headlines of each one, okay? So the first one says, Jonathan Majors arrested in New York City for assaulting woman. His rep says that he has done nothing wrong, okay? The next headline reads, Jonathan Majors' attorney says he is completely innocent, claims alleged victim has recanted her statement. All right. And then the next one. All right. That one was dropped on March 26th. And then the more newest one was dropped on March 30th, where they say Jonathan Majors' lawyer shows text messages from alleged victim and says woman admitted fault. So let's get into the article. And then also let's see if we can get into what these messages are saying. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to try to put let's see, how do I want to do this? Can I save the document? That's what I'll do. I'll save the document, and then when it's time, we'll put the document on the screen for us to actually read and see what it's about. I just need to change something real quick. All right, so the article reads Jonathan Major's attorney says she has receipts regarding the assault claims against her client. Text messages in which the alleged victim admits she is to blame and says she doesn't want the actor prosecuted, okay? This is what she's saying. Now they're saying Major's lawyer tells TMZ the woman in question sent a few texts to the Creed actor hours after his arrest last weekend, admitting that she was the one who used physical force against him. Okay, so we're about to go ahead and get into these messages and dissect them and just figure out what the heck is really going on here, Jonathan. So let's get these up on the screen. And I actually kind of want to blow it up as much as I can. Okay, so let's see. All right, so the first part at the very top says there is no note, just you knowing what happened. So then he said, did you leave the keys? And then says goodbye, such and such. I guess this is their way of saying we're done, we're over. Don't call me no more. Our relationship is completely it's done. Okay. So then the person responds. She tells him, please let me know you're okay when you get this. She says, they assured me that you won't be charged. They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me and they knew we had a fight. So a fight did happen. There were some things that did go on. It's what it sounds like she's saying, at least to me. That's what it sounds like she's saying. And, they had to arrest based on the bruises. But I feel like even if they didn't see bruises, they still were likely going to arrest you because I feel like that is likely the protocol, period. Let's keep going. She says, I'm so angry that they did, and I'm sorry you're in this position. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. Okay, we'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. That kind of sounds like a person that's a victim. Like, even if it was your fault for even if you did grab his phone, I'm not understanding how that's necessarily your fault, because if he gave you a reaction that was extremely aggressive that resulted in you getting some type of, bruises or whatever put on your body, then that ain't your fault. That is not your fault. I'm sorry. But let's keep going. She says, I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. I only just got out of the hospital. Just call me when you're out. Now she was in the hospital, girl. And then she responds and says, I love you. Girl, that man is done with you. Do you hear me? He done with you for the moment, okay? But that man is done with your ass. Let's keep going. She says, they just called again to check on me, and I reiterated how this was not an attack, and they do not have my blessing on any charges being placed. I read the paper they gave me about strangulation, and I said point blank, this did not occur and should be removed immediately. The judge is definitely going to be told this. She ensured this to me. I know you have the best team, and there's nothing to worry about. I just want you to know that I'm doing all I can on my end. I also said to tell the judge to know that the origin of the call was to do with me collapsing. The origin of the call had to do with me collapsing and passing out, and your worry as my partner due to our communication prior. Out of care, she promised all will be relayed. First of all, girl, what are you saying? I also said to tell the judge to know that the origin of the call was to do with me collapsing. Okay, so the reason for the 911 call was due to her collapsing and passing out. And Jonathan was the one that was worried, okay? So she's saying that the origin of the call was because she passed out and she collapsed or whatever. Jonathan was worried, so he called the cops because that's what they're alleging. And this is where the story gets confusing for me, because one minute you have TMZ reporting that the young lady called the cops the very next morning. Then you have TMZ coming back and reporting that he was the one that called 911. So which one is it? Girl, which one called 911? Because it also sounds like, based on what this girl is saying, he was arrested on site. So is it possible that he did call 911, but still based on the bruises and what was put on her, somebody had to go to jail? Because she also admitted to the fact that there was a fight or something went down. Now, granted, the bruises could have came from him restraining her. It could have, or they could have came from him physically harming her. Okay? Because when you're talking about snatching a phone out somebody's hand or whatever the case is, and they get aggressive with you, girl, like that behavior then is intentional to inflict whatever harm on you so they can get their items back. And I don't see that as being her fault. But I do see this as being a whole lot of goddamn confusing for me. Okay, on who called who 911. Now, the girl said something in her message where she was like, the judge is definitely going to be told this, and she pretty much assured, girl, let me tell you something. One thing about the DA, their goal is to prosecute. Period. Their goal is to get another win under their motherfucking belts. It's going to be very interesting, rough, tough for you to get this case dropped unless they truly have evidence that shows that their case is damaging to them. If they saying that they got video and some things went down and he was not the aggressor or whatever the case is, then and if it really proves that, then that can hurt the DA's case. And who wants to go to trial or who wants to take it that far if they got some damaging evidence? If that's the case, they rather just dismiss the charges altogether. But the DA is going to hold on to this case as long as they feel like they got a leg to stand on, and as long as they feel like, yeah, they could win this. They're gonna continue to push it. They're gonna continue to keep it. But if Jonathan's attorneys submit enough evidence to show them you ain't got no leg to stand on with this case, you might as well drop it. They're gonna save themselves embarrassment because they're not gonna want to waste the judge's time. So they're gonna go ahead and just like, you're right, let's go ahead and move on. They're going to drop it. Okay. So y'all going to have to present more than just some text messages. And you know what's sad is that y'all going to drop these text messages and thinking that that's going to absolve Jonathan, but it doesn't. It makes me think that she could have likely been a victim of something that happened. And I mean, I don't know. Right? That's why I'm like, if you're going to drop something, you should have dropped the video. Give us something that's hardcore. There is a gap in between the messages. And I did see where some people were like, oh my God, there was some gap between the messages. One of the calls was at 6. Another one was late at night at 9 something. So I'm wondering if a phone call or something may have taken place. Not necessarily. Just because a person, like, look in your own phone and you will see that it's probably somebody that you could have been arguing with or feeling a way about. They could have messaged you one day and they could have tried to call and you probably didn't answer the phone, and then later on here's another message from them like, y'all act like that's not normal. You know what I'm saying? Because people are trying so much to make him seem like he is the problem, and he very well could be. But let that be clear. Don't be trying to fix and move around and rearrange shit so that it can fit the narrative that you want it to fit. Like, it sounds like, from what I've seen, some people trying to say like, oh, well, it sounds like he called her on the phone and then may have told her to kind of like send this information over. No, this looks like a woman that is regretful of what she did, and she wants to get back in his good graces or whatever. So she's just like, listen, just so you know, I know you're not answering my calls. Like, that's how it's coming off to me. I know you're not talking to me or whatever, but I just want to let you know this. I want to reassure you of X, Y, Z, ABC. It doesn't really sound like a person that got on a call with somebody and was told what exactly to say. Now, keep in mind, she could still very well be a victim and still not be happy with what it is that she did. It doesn't mean that he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what happened. I'm going to have to wait for it to come, the rest of the details to come out. But what I can say is this text message does not help him, in my personal. I don't think that it helps him at all. Right? It does show that she is, regretful, but how many women bring up charges against men that are regretful? A lot of them, yeah, they be lying, and then a lot of them are not lying at all, but they still are regretful because of the place that they're in. Then they come to the reality of, oh my God, my relationship ended. This isn't what I really wanted. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It might not be what you wanted, but it may be what you needed. Okay? But let's get into the rest of it. They're saying in the text, his attorney claims the woman sent, she says how angry she was. Jonathan had been handcuffed, and she adds, we'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. Here's the thing, ma'am. It's not your fault that you tried to grab his phone. You know what I'm saying? If he gave you an aggressive response, I don't think it was necessarily caused. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it had to be all of that. Because you snatched my phone. Honestly, depending on who you is, girl, you might pull back a nub. But I'm saying, if you looking for something, I'm going to let you get what you looking for. And then what you finna do when you find out. I got it right. But I don't, think that is your fault. But here's the thing. When you're talking to DA, they don't always share with the judge what you say. I do believe. And I'm just talking about me just sitting back in the back of the courtroom and just watching everything, right? If the judge asks a question, they'll answer the question. If the judge say, what has she said, then they'll tell the judge what you said. But if the judge don't ask, they likely may not bring it up. If the other attorney brings, question to it, then the DA might mention it. Okay. But I mean, if ain't nobody else bringing it up, they might not say that. So your best bet will likely be to show up to court your damn self. Okay. But what's also that I find to be so damn interesting for me, there was a protective order that was put in place, and I want to find that in one of these things. They said what they did say, however, is that a limited court order protection for the alleged victim has been put in place. Okay, the DA requested a full order of protection, indicating that they feel the alleged victim needs a bigger force field. Okay, so a limited one. What is limited to, I'm not sure. But if there was a full order of protection that was requested and likely granted at some point, because this was on the 26th, they could have granted one. Then he can't respond to her. Here's the thing. He'll be in violation. So people feeling like, oh, he got on the phone and said this and that. I don't believe that. And I don't believe that the attorney called her and told her what to say either. I believe whatever that woman texted that man, he screenshotted it and he sent it over. Okay. The most he did was get his keys. That's why you saw him keep it short when he said to her, let me pull it back up. When he said to her, did you leave the keys? Goodbye. Okay, so did you leave the keys? She didn't answer. He saw the keys. Okay, cool. Goodbye. That's it. So he really is not supposed to talk to her. That limited protection order was probably only for her to get in there, get her SHI, and get the hell on. Obviously, he was not at the house when she got all her stuff, when he said, did you leave the keys or whatever. So I feel like the limited one that was put in place was for her to be able to get her belongings out of his home. But as far as them really having contact like that, no. And in all honesty, when these type of cases happen, y'all not supposed to be really discussing the case anyway. For real. Okay. So that's just how I understand it. You know what I'm saying? And I just be sitting back watching or whatever, girl. But that's just, that's interesting to me. If y'all really not supposed to have contact supposed to be limited, and now they're asking for a full protection order or whatever, then likely that means they don't want y'all to communicate at all. And y'all damn sure not supposed to talk about the particular case at hand, because a lot of times what happens is these men or the violators try to convince these ladies or threaten these ladies to get charges dropped in XYZ, which is one of the reasons that they automatically put in these protective orders, so that no type of conversations are really happening on that level. That's the reason why y'all ain't really see no response from him. And chances are you ain't see no calls from him either. Okay? So I'm just wondering how that will work out. If he has been in contact with her and he got these charges, even if they were dropped, could he still be facing charges from when he had them or something? But anywho, that's just what I'm thinking, So I don't know. I'm just trying to use as many context clues as I can, not clearing his name, because I don't know what this man did. I really don't. Okay. But yeah. All right. So let's see what else they're saying. They're saying that the attorney says she has turned these text messages over to law enforcement. Of course, Jonathan was arrested for misdemeanor assault, aggravated harassment, attempted assault, and harassment. And if everything happened that night, how do you get aggravated or harassment? How do you get harassment? How do you get attempted assault? Either he assaulted her or he didn't. And then how did you get misdemeanor assault? So now all of the charges that they have on him, in my personal opinion, these are things that can be easily dropped, which therefore makes me question, because if he really assaulted her, like for real, they would have put aggravated assault charges on him. And not saying if he really assaulted her, because it ain't like you got to do a whole lot to assault somebody for real. You can snatch a phone out of their hand and that is like considered assault, like with the Drew Sador thing she was trying to get. But is it assault or is it not? Because then now y'all saying misdemeanor, then you saying aggravated this, then you saying it seemed like y'all just grabbed some charges just to throw on him. And it does make me question how much evidence y'all really do have, and if y'all do have a leg to stand on. But they're gonna hold on to this case and push it as far as they can go until I guess they get in front of the judge. Really, because we shall see. It seems like the attorney is trying to get everything dropped before they get in front of the judge and just do away with this case, so he never has to see the inside of that courtroom. So we'll see. That's just I don't know. That's just like, girl, that's a little messy. The attorney told us Sunday she was already working hard to gather evidence. Here's my thing too. It also makes me feel like her leaking these text messages, she thought that she was going to give us a little taste of something in hopes that it was going to applied pressure to the DA is what it sounds like. She was dropping this little seed thinking it was going to make Jonathan look in his best light, and we were going to start flipping on these on the DA and demanding, creating some type of uproar. Okay, she wanted things to be tried in public opinion. To me, now it's not working. So if you're saying you have video, girl, you better get TMZ to leak the video. You better get something. I don't know how that's going to affect your case, but if you got some other evidence that's going to be facts, you might as well go ahead and drop it. But you know what it's giving? It's giving, we going to get something on next week. And then we might get something else on the week after that. And I feel like she could be playing a little bit of chess, possibly, like watching how they moving and then making a decision. Okay, I'm going to see what they do with this. Okay, they didn't work. Okay, bet. I'm going to drop that. Okay, see what they do. Oh, okay, so y'all not going to budge with that then. Here, girl, is giving Tara and Amina when Amina slapped that damn driver's license with her last name saying Peter Guns or whatever, and she said, and ain't nothing fake about that. Okay, so that's what it's giving that the attorney is about to do. She's waiting till the right time so she could slap down the video or whatever the case is and say ain't nothing fake about that. Okay, and we just gonna see. We gonna see what's gonna happen with that. But girl, either way, I wish you good luck. Girl, y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below. I'm sure a lot of y'all feel like, he is right out the gate, wrong. I feel like you guys are like right out the gate, team victim. Jonathan Majors, bash him. He's terrible. He did it. Let me tell y'all, I don't believe neither one of these folks. I'm just going to put it out like, I'm not team Jonathan, and I'm damn sure no team victim. I'm not one of the people that just jump out there and be like, yes, I'm on the victim side. That's not me. I'm not going to be her, period. Just want to give y'all that heads up if you were searching for anything different over here. I'm just going to sit back and watch and see how it play out and give my opinion from both sides if it's not making no fucking sense. But I'm not going to come out and just villainize this man and be like, oh, my God, he's the problem. Oh, my God, he did it. Girl, I don't know what the fuck that man did. But what I can say is that lady ain't no, I can't say that lady is the victim. I can't say that it ain't her fault. Because whether it really got too far or it didn't, she may have snatched the phone out his hand, but how he responded, depending on how he responded, that wasn't called for, unless he was defending himself. Unless she snatched the phone, saw the things that she saw, and then was trying to jump on him, and then those marks that she got on her body was from him restraining her, because that was another conversation before I go. I remember TMZ also talking about when this first dropped, that he was slapping her with her own hands. So then my question is, where were the bruises listed on the body? You see what I'm saying? Because if they're on your forearms or on your wrist and he's trying to avoid you from hitting him and him pushing back on you, resulting in you slapping your damn self, then I just have questions that need more answers. Okay, so if you want to drop the defensive wounds or whatever, drop the pics. And see if that's gonna help the people figure out some things, so we could decide like, nah, Jonathan, this right here, this don't look like no you know what I'm saying, like you was trying to hold her from fighting you. Jonathan, these bruises look like you hit this lady. Okay, so give us a little bit more. If you want to drop some, girl, drop it. If you're gonna drop it, then you gotta drop it. Oh, hello, come on, Usher. But either way it go, that's all that I got. All right, you guys hop down in the comments, share your thoughts. Let me go ahead and end that. But you guys go ahead, hop down in the comments, share your thoughts, all that great stuff. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie, that's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.